G'day fam, welcome to today's YouTube segment. My name's Jim, this is Australis TV. Big shout out to our sponsors Millard Marine, Qualia Reels and also Rode Microphones. All three have taken our content to another level, okay? What I'm doing today is I'm doing a product review on a generator that I've just gone out and bought. When we went to Fraser with Jesse in 2019, I looked at his setup and thought, yeah, I need to get professional at this. And trust me, he has the most professional setup in all streaming on Twitch or wherever, okay? So I've been in the market for a generator for a while. The two best brands on the market are Honda and also Yamaha. Good friend of mine in the country has had one since we were at school with the Yammies, okay, and it's still going. So, you know, that speaks volumes for itself. But with technology that's out there nowadays, there's a lot of good products on the market, okay? And I went into my local Jaycar store recently, and with the guys at Jaycar there, they had a generator a while back that was $1,000, and then I thought it was a misprint. There was one there for $699, okay? So, I went out and got one, okay? This is the PowerTech 2 kilowatt, okay, generator. Alrighty, so with this, when you buy it, you get yourself a little toolkit that's got the DC fitting in there that you can charge off. Get yourself a little T-piece that's got the screwdriver fittings and everything in there, okay? So you can do everything that you need to do with that generator, okay, with the toolkit. Now the actual model number is MG4508, okay? When you buy these, they're a totally dry unit. You don't have any fuel or any oil in them at all, okay? So with this unit here, as we utilize the little T-piece that you get with it, I've already gone through and put oil in the unit, gone through and put oil in the unit itself, okay? As you can tell, I've still got a bit of oil on my hands. That's why this slipped out. All right, same old story. When you take screws out of machinery, always put them on something so they don't roll, right? Just finished taking this off and I'll take off the side plate for you. Okay, so that's the side plate, okay? As you can see in here, that's the sump cap. The oil that I'm using today is the Penrite small engine 10W30 semi-synthetic oil. I've had old cars over the years. I had a HG, a HQ and a WB. Always used Penrite oils in them. Never had a headache. It was more so for the WB. When I bought that from the old boy up the road, the rings were that far gone in the 202. It was more like a self-mixing two-stroke. And quite often the fuel gauge would race the temperature gauge on the way back down when the thermostat had opened, you know? So, you fill it up here, okay? I always put a bit of cloth or a bit of paper under there, make sure nothing goes into the sump, all right? That's the oil container that you get with the unit. Between 3 and 325 mils is the oil that you require to run the unit. Make sure it's always done on a level surface, right? And with that level surface, use the funnel, alrighty? So what we'll do is, you've got your overflow hoses here. There's one there for the fuel tank and also like for the like spill and all that sort of stuff there, okay? That'll key into the bottom of the unit, alrighty? Whoops. Not very well, by the way I'm doing it. Hang on, get in there. I'm done. Oh, that's why. Hang on. That's better. Rightio. And you got to remember, fam, everything we do on this channel is in real time. So if I do something good, great. If it's a bit silly like that, well, still great. At least it's real. You know what I mean? This is not a very high cost production, if you know where I'm coming from. Right, so we'll put these back in here. Okay, when you first prime this, okay, out of the box, you've got to prime it about 20 times to get the fuel to the carby, obviously. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put that up here and there. Okay, that's your on off switch for the engine. All right, that's your choke, that's run, and that's start. Chuck that in there. Now always check that the smart throttle is not on, because it suppresses it. You won't be able to start it. Okay, because I've already primed this, let's do it, say 5 times. Beautiful. Now, these are your two 240 volt outlets. It's got a little seal on the covers there, all right? That's your parallel output ports. So basically what you can do is join another PowerTech generator to this if you need increased output. That's your earth there. So if you're using electrical products that are earthed, in the manual it says to earth this as well, okay? That's your DC protector. So with your direct current being 12 volt, okay, that is the fitting for there, okay? It also has a DC protector on it. Once you plug that in, for God's sake, don't touch those. God help you if you do, all right? And in here, what we have is we have the output indicator. That's on green, which is good. If the unit overloads, or you've got an electrical product that's faulty, or the electrical product that you're using requires more power than what this can generate, okay, the overload alert will come out. And obviously the big one is the oil alert. So if the oil alert comes on, you've got problems, you need to check your oil level, okay? I'll just show you the difference in the revs there without the smart throttle. I think without the smart throttle it's rated at about 93 dBA, but with the smart throttle on it drops right down, okay? So that's basically the unit, and quite frankly, you know, for 699 bucks you can't really go wrong, all right? Now with today's segment, we aren't sponsored by Jaycar, and we're definitely not sponsored by Penrite, okay? So all I'm doing is just showing you an alternative out there in terms of generators at the top end, okay? For $699, this represents outstanding value for money, all right? Now, do yourself a favor, download the PowerTech MG4508 brochure from their website, and then read it before you use the unit, okay? So look, we've had this off for a little while now. Turn that on. Okay, that's off. I don't think we'll need choke. Beautiful. Smart throttle. Quietens the unit right down. There you go. So all good. Okay, if you know where I'm coming from. Now what we'll do is we'll just turn that off. You'll hear a click as it gets to the off position. There it is, that's the click. Okay, so look, what we've been doing since we've transitioned from the other platform is I've been building up our assets to upload content to YouTube, okay, and to live stream as well. So the next time we use this, it'll be remote, okay. We'll use this to recharge electronic equipment, use it to run lights, etc, etc, etc. So we've got the compressor now, okay, and then as well as the compressor we've got this, all right. The next thing I'd like to do is get dual batteries, and thanks to Casso, okay, and his donation that time, we got the 17-inch tyres and 17-inch rims, okay, so we're ready to go, okay. Now the other thing is too, a lot of products in Australia aren't designed for Australian conditions. We're a very hot country compared to other parts of the world, especially like Western Australia and that sort of stuff. So it says in the manual, when you transport this, if you're going to go long distances on rough terrain, right, always try and keep it level. and drain the fuel out of it first, because on the bottom here, you've got all these hoses that allow, you know, for the fuel that splashes over and that sort of stuff, somewhere to go. If I've got this in the back of here, even though it's fastened down and it's bouncing around all over the place, you've got to remember, with fuel, it's the vapors that ignite. So if that gets covered in like fuel, okay, and you fill this cavity here at the back of the Hilux, for example, or whatever four-wheel drive you have with vapor, and you light a durry, open the back up, it's just going to go boom. Do you know what I mean? And if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you need a little bit of a divine intervention. And as we say in Australia, you know, this generator is what will save your ass if you're going remote, okay? So look, on top of that, 3.8 hours running time at full throttle. So with smart throttle, I don't know how long you'd get. It's going to be interesting to find out, you know. So, I mean, you know, we've just got to get out there and start using it. I really appreciate all the support. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to sign off. The next time you see this, as I said, it will be out remote. Okay, now with this here, that's where your sump is. Okay, that's your exhaust. All right, that's a very, very good cover that's got plenty of perforations in it so that it'll air out. It's not overly hot. Now, here is where the spark plug lives. So you use the little T-piece with the Phillips head to take the cap off. That key's in as well, and your spark plug is underneath there, fam. So reading the manual, you're meant to change the oil every 20 hours or every month, okay? So with this Penrite 1 litre here, I think I paid about, I don't know, $17 or $18, whatever it was. You're only using about 300 mils, so this will last you 3 months, okay? So just keep a rough estimate of how long you're gonna be using the generator for. Usually 3 things will kill these: dirty air, dirty fuel, dirty oil, right? Probably not so much dirty oil, but it's always good to keep your unit maintained, so when you need to call on it to do the job that you bought it for, right, it's always there for you. All right, fam? So look, for $699, admittedly, it's not a Honda or a Yamaha, but for starters, I think it's a great value for money product. On top of that, I like dealing with reputable local companies like Millard Marine and also Jaycar down here, okay? If I have a hassle with this in the next couple of years, I'll be able to take it into a physical shop front, okay, a Jaycar there, and they can deal with it over the counter, alrighty? These are available online in some instances up to about $1,200, but I've been stung online before myself. You know, you buy something, it doesn't work, you send it back, you never hear back from them, all right? Or you order it and it doesn't turn up, okay? So irrespective, for whatever reason, like I said to you, personally, if I'm going to spend that much money, I want to do it with somewhere where I can deal with someone over a counter, okay? All right, fam, stay safe, stay well. I hope you've enjoyed today's YouTube segment. This is just another addition to the stable, if you want to call it that, of what we're going to be using for our streaming. And once this weather breaks, all the content will start to get uploaded in earnest. And after today, I'm going to start doing all the technical stuff with rigs, knots, you know, saltwater flies, freshwater flies, etc., etc. And once the weather breaks, then we'll be shooting off to film our content, all right? Thanks very much. I'll call it a day now, and see you next time. Catch ya.